The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
All right. Well, welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. It is Thursday, y'all. I got Carol and Pedro with me this morning. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
All right. And then I ain't no interest groups tonight, but we do have a little bit of an announcement. So whether you have looked at our Facebook group or whether you are on our email list, you will know that we are doing a Double Good Popcorn fundraiser. So starting today at noon, running through Monday noon, you can go in there and get you some really nice gourmet popcorn and help out a good cause. You know what I'm saying? So if you like popcorn, I mean, it's a perfect opportunity to stock up and get you some popcorn for movie night, right? So
Right.
all that kind of good stuff. So again,
They got like cheddar cheese, flaming cheddar. They got white chocolate from what I remember.
Wow.
They got the sweet other ones. They have a cool bunch of flavors. They switch them up. So you know, if you're into popcorn and you like premium popcorn, I mean fresh popcorn. Sometimes, look, I'm a person that eats popcorn and my stomach starts hurting, but I like it.
Well, I mean, their thing is it's made to order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's made to order. So when I eat this popcorn, no stomach problems, guys. That's
wow.
Premium popcorn, double good popcorn.
You know, popcorn is the only thing that I just grab by my handfuls. You know, like I'm an animal. I just grab it like that. I can't help it.
Well, I do. My favorite is my main cheddar, which is the yellow cheddar. They do have a white cheddar as well, you know, but I like that the main cheddar. That's my favorite. And then they got, you know, deals, you know, depending on if you want to try out the All-Stars, you can get, you know, 4 or 5 bags of different bags, you know, different brands or, you know, flavors. Or, you know, like with mine, I get my main cheddar and I can, you know, just buy a package deal, give me, you know, 4 or 5
like mix and match.
bags. You can mix and match, or you can, you know, you can do it the way you want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
As we say,
So
you know, whatever works for you.
It's no spam, guys. It helps a good cause, and then you get a delicious bag of popcorn.
Yum.
I mean, it's really, really, really good stuff. I mean, again, I wouldn't do it if I didn't like the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's it's a really, really good bag of popcorn. So, you know, if you don't mind helping out, you know, want to enjoy some good popcorn, again. And if you're not on the email list, please, info@blindunited.org, and we'll send you a link where you can just log right into the pop-up store and go through the selections and make your purchase. You know what I'm saying? So we really, really appreciate that. So anyway, let's move on to these articles. I forgot what the first one was about. What's the title on the first one, Pedro?
Disney hit with a 10 million.
Yeah, this is crazy right here. You know, Disney. I mean, you know, they're all about kids, right? And come to find out, they have been mismanaging children's information. They have not been making sure that they have parental consent.
The greatest place on earth? You kidding?
I'm serious. So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this first article. Disney hit with $10 million fine over children's privacy violations. a wake-up call for families and advocates. In a major enforcement action that's making waves across the tech and entertainment industries, the Federal Trade Commission has fined Disney $10 million for violating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Known as COPPA, this federal law is designed to protect children under the age of 13 from having their personal data collected without verified parental consent. The FTC's investigation revealed that Disney's platforms failed to meet this standard, resulting in one of the largest fines ever issued under COPPA. According to the FTC, Disney used tracking technologies on its websites and apps that gathered location data, browsing behavior, and device identifiers from young users. These practices were not clearly disclosed to parents, and in many cases, no consent was obtained at all. The ruling sends a strong message to companies that children's privacy is not optional, it's a legal and ethical responsibility. For families nationwide, this case is more than just a headline. It's a reminder that even trusted brands can fall short when it comes to protecting vulnerable users. And for the blind and visually impaired community, especially parents raising children with disabilities, the issue goes even deeper. Many privacy settings and consent forms are difficult to navigate with screen readers or voice-controlled devices. If privacy policies are not accessible, families may unknowingly expose their children to risks they cannot fully understand or control. Advocates are now calling for stronger requirements around accessibility in digital privacy tools. This includes interfaces that work seamlessly with assistive technology and provide clear, spoken explanations of what data is being collected and how it will be used. For example, a parent using a screen reader should be able to easily review and approve or deny data collection requests without encountering unlabeled buttons, confusing layouts, or vague language. The Disney case also raises broader questions about corporate accountability. Should companies be required to undergo regular accessibility audits for their privacy settings? Can fines like this lead to meaningful change, or will they simply be absorbed as part of doing business? These are questions that policymakers, developers, and advocates will need to address as digital platforms continue to evolve. For the Coffee Time crew and the BlindUnited community, this story is a powerful reminder that digital safety must include transparency, trust, and inclusion. Families deserve platforms that respect their privacy and provide tools that are easy to understand and use, regardless of ability. As technology becomes more embedded in everyday life, the need for accessible and ethical design will only grow. This ruling also opens the door for more scrutiny of how other companies handle children's data. If Disney can be held accountable, so can others. It's a moment for parents, educators, and advocates to push for better standards and stronger protections across the board. As we sip our first cup and reflect on this article, let's consider what steps we can take to protect our families online. Whether it's reviewing privacy settings, advocating for accessible design, or simply staying informed, every action counts. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you manage privacy settings for your kids or yourself? What changes would you like to see in how companies handle data? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, for me, this is very shocking. You would think that Disney would be on point with this kind of stuff, because, again, their main, demographic that they're trying to attract is the children, right? Of course, they're trying to attract the adults as well because it's a place that they can take their children. But at the same time, when you're talking about their websites and all this kind of stuff, I mean, I just can't understand why they're not on point with these privacy settings and, parental permissions and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, it's important, especially in today's world. I mean, especially with kids. Kids a lot of times don't even realize. I mean, I'm singling them out, but I'm being honest. There's a lot of different websites you go on to. I mean, again, when you start trying to adjust privacy settings and stuff, a lot of that stuff is just not all that accessible. Like it says, you run into a lot of unlabeled buttons and all this other kind of stuff. So, not only Disney, but again, privacy settings, period, in today's world, it needs to be really made accessible so that everybody can get in there, because maintaining your privacy is very important now. I mean, look at what we talked about yesterday with the AI scams. I mean, kids are posting videos and all this other kind of stuff, so they might have their voices and stuff there. And the next thing you know, you got your child calling you talking about, Daddy, I need help, and then you're gonna panic, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, we gotta be on point with this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my take on it, girl.
For me, I mean, for being a place like that, somebody definitely dropped the ball. You would think that as we try to secure our privacy as adults, that they would definitely protect the privacy of children, and they're vulnerable. All of that information is not supposed to be out there, and everybody, you're right, should have the right to set privacy notices or parental guidances, or whatever it is that you need to set, whether you're visual or not. Like Pedro was saying, and you as well yesterday, the myth is when you're blind, you have blind children. No, Pedro has showed that no, you do not. So he needs to be able to, have access to something that can help him monitor his children's behavior. Because I remember being a kid and I didn't mind everything my mom and daddy said. So, it's good that they have to be accountable for what they've done, regardless of how big they are,
Well, I mean, when you think about $10 million to us, okay, yeah, oh, that's a big chunk of change, right? But when you talk about a multi-billion-dollar corporation, 10 million is, that's a drop in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So,
gotcha.
But at least, again, the word is getting out. The awareness is being created about this kind of stuff, and people like Pedro are going to be on top of it, right, my brother?
Yeah, and we have to remember Disney is a parent company, meaning they have sub companies that sometimes we may not even know that they own, like Net Geo, right? They
Mm-hmm.
have content there. So if they're tracking their kids, right? They're tracking, right? They have Disney Plus, they have Hulu, they have Net Geo, they have so many other companies. My
Time
Disney,
Warner.
Yeah,
Time
Time Warner. That's
Warner.
true.
So imagine all these companies, all these apps and all this, and your kid is going to different ones, and then you're driving around, you're going to stores. They know your location of your child, what store he's going. They can even, if you go to Disneyland, they can even know when you attended Disneyland. Not
All this
just
kind of stuff.
not just because of your footprint online, even on their park where you go in and you have to get ID and all that stuff. They know.
Mm.
They won't ask a child, but they could already kind of pinpoint, oh, this child's parents this. So think about that. We were talking about corporations making a psychological profile on your ways of shopping.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be used on a minor, not even under 16 or 18 at that.
Right.
Um, we shouldn't let these companies. I think that $10 million fine is a slap in the wrist. It came when they might have to update and fix some stuff, but they could start saying they fixed some stuff. Let's see if the government double checks and make sure this gets updated, because our privacy is number one, and our children's privacy should be above ours. We're adults; we get to consent. Our children don't know about consenting yet. They're
Mm-hmm.
protected by law, and these corporations should obey the law. Should obey the law. We see how different online databases get leaked. I don't need my child's data leaked. Their name, location, or even one of these data brokers. What about Disney sells their data to a broker? We don't know. I don't know if that's part of the investigation or they didn't even cover that. Who knows? You know?
Well, even if they're using it for themselves, it's still wrong. I
It
mean,
is.
Right.
because they're a multi-corporation conglomerate, you know what I'm saying? Whatever data they grabbing from Disney, they can use over in one of their other businesses. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's just totally wrong. Whether and again, more especially with kids, but everyone. I mean, again, I don't. It's not. I mean, I don't trip on it, but I don't like the fact that they tracking what I'm doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But
Just
it's like
period.
what Pedro was saying, it's like they do us like that at the casino. If you have one of those little cards and you stick them, they kind of know how you spend, how often you come, if you take the hotel vouchers, all that kind of stuff. But we have consent. These children, like you said, they don't have consent, so they shouldn't
Well,
have the right. That
yeah.
was, they need to pay more.
And the thing is that they just kind of sprinkled a little bit of, look, you get this little bit of rewards, but we know what you bought. Like when you got your CBS, Bright Aid rewards card, all these rewards card is to know
Right.
what you bought, so they could know and tailor your coupons and other stuff, so you could come back and shop. You know, I was talking about building psychological profiles and stuff like that. This is not fiction right there. This is fact already. They do this already.
Right. They've been doing it for years, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, now in the digital age,
Ooh.
it just makes it a lot easier for them, and there's a lot more data to collect. I mean, back in the past, you had to, sign up for a drawing or, different stuff like that, right? In order for them to get your information. Now, all you got to do is log on the computer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Wow.
let's give a quick example. Let's say you have a 13-year-old. Boom, his data, right? Let's say his data privacy has been violated. Well, now they starting to know the location, the kid's preference, or what he likes and stuff like that. Let's skip 26 years. Let's skip 10 years later. This 13-year-old is 23. Now he's an adult, but they've been building this profile on him, what he likes to watch, and what he likes to do, what he likes to drink, and all this. And all the marketing going back to that person to buy all this stuff, to get all this stuff that that person might not need, might be out of control because he might be seeing so many things coming his way, ads on his phone, things that they put in. And, some people don't have self-control. But when you target people like that, it's kind of like, for me, it's violation. It's like, you violated my space. You violated my trust. You're targeting me. It's like if you're walking down the street and you're like, I'm going to walk to the store, but then you got a man following you over there. You got a man following you. That's how you should think about it. You got a man following, looking at you behind the bushes.
Right.
Right.
That's the way to think about it. That's what they're doing. It just, the disconnect that we're online, we don't see it like that.
Right. I mean, I agree. So right quick, Tisha says, I'm confused, Tisha. You say you're going, baby. Where you going? And then she also says, good morning, everybody.
Oh, she might say she's going to Disney.
Maybe.
Could be.
Thumbs up.
Good morning, Tisha.
Like the video if you're going to Disney.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, again, and all this stuff, we got to do something about this. Again, it's not just Disney, it's across the board. Like we talking about, the thing with Disney, and I would be pretty sure that it has a lot to do with, anywhere where kids are being, marketed to, what I'm saying. That's a demographic. They're definitely trying to exploit the kids, but bottom line, they is trying to exploit everybody on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on their platform.
It should be criminal that they're doing it on kids. How about that? So,
they need to be penalized for that more than what they pay, for sure.
So, all right, well, I'm gonna leave that one right there where it is. Pedro, go ahead and hit us with a couple more promos, and then we'll get into some better news about children.
You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Hustlin' jingles, $10 a shots. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at BlindUnited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at BlindUnited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
Well, I mean, these jingles always make a great gift. I mean, whether you have a personal message you're trying to relay to somebody, or whether you have a business, maybe, you might need a nice little catchy jingle for your business. I mean, listen to the jingles that Pedro does for us here. I mean, they're amazing. So
yes,
if you want something nice quality and, unique to you and what you're doing, or or the message that you're trying to relay to somebody, just get at us. Info at BlindUnited.org. And like I said, we can get you plugged in, get you what you need. So anyway, this next one has to do with a Supreme Court decision about making sure that disabled kids, special needs children, right, get what they need from school. So check this out.
Hey Blind United crew, grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this second article. Supreme Court expands education rights for students with disabilities. In a landmark decision that could reshape how schools across the country support students with disabilities, the United States Supreme Court has ruled that families no longer need to exhaust administrative remedies before filing discrimination claims under the Americans with Disabilities Act or Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. This ruling significantly lowers the legal burden for families seeking justice when reasonable accommodations are denied. The case centered around a student with disabilities who was denied access to appropriate educational services. Previously, families were required to go through lengthy administrative processes under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act before they could bring claims under broader civil rights laws. The Supreme Court's decision removes that barrier, allowing families to pursue ADA and Section 504 claims directly in federal court. This change is expected to have a national impact, especially for families who face challenges navigating complex legal systems. For the blind and visually impaired community, the ruling is a major step forward in ensuring that disability rights are treated as civil rights, not just educational issues. It affirms that students with disabilities deserve equal access and protection under the law, regardless of the setting. Advocates say the decision will empower families to act more swiftly when schools fail to provide necessary accommodations. Whether it's access to Braille materials, mobility support, or assistive technology, students should not have to wait months or years for their rights to be recognized. The ruling also sends a clear message to school districts. Compliance with disability laws is not optional, and failure to act can result in immediate legal consequences. For blind and visually impaired students, this could mean faster access to the tools and services they need to succeed. It also opens the door for more inclusive practices in classrooms, from accessible digital content to better training for educators on how to support students with diverse needs. The decision is being celebrated by disability rights organizations, legal experts, and families who have long advocated for more equitable treatment. It reinforces the idea that disability discrimination is a civil rights issue and should be addressed with the same urgency and seriousness as any other form of discrimination. As the Coffee Time crew reflects on this second article, it's clear that this ruling is more than a legal technicality. It's a shift in how we value and protect students with disabilities. It recognizes that families should not be forced to jump through procedural hoops to defend their children's rights. Instead, they should have direct access to justice when those rights are violated. This moment also invites broader conversations about how schools can proactively support students with disabilities. Are educators receiving enough training? Are accessibility tools being prioritized in school budgets? Are families being included in decision-making processes? We'd love to hear your thoughts. What changes would you like to see in your local schools when it comes to supporting students with disabilities? Have you or someone you know faced challenges accessing accommodations? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I didn't think I was going to find a reason to applaud the Supreme Court for doing something right, but damn, I applaud them for this decision. I mean, I know a lot of kids that have come through the system, since I became part of the blind community. I've heard so many horror stories about high school, junior high, elementary, whatever, just say grade school children, right? And getting the accommodations they need to be able to keep up with the rest of the school, with the rest of their class, the rest of their peers, I mean, and I hope a lot of some changes I'd like to see. I mean, again, a lot of these special ed teachers, they don't know anything about assistive technology. So therefore, there needs to be some training in there so that, number one, they understand what the technology is and what it can do, so they can now also advocate for their students. What, my child, this student needs this, it'll help them with that, and so on and so forth. I mean, again, most special needs teachers, as they call them, special ed teachers, whatever, they're not really in all of that, so they don't really know. But again, I think this ruling is a really, really, really good thing, and I'm happy for it, and I'm hoping that starting now, moving forward, kids are going to be in a much better position when they graduate from high school, to either pursue their education or to pursue a job, right? Why? Because they got a proper education. They're already up on having the knowledge of how to use their assistive technology, rather than having to leave high school and then go to a training center such as what I had to go through. I mean, I went blind as an adult, but again, there was the school I went to, they actually had a high school program. It was called STEPS, so again, kids had to come there and do the summer thing to learn how to use their assistive tech to get the knowledge that they wasn't getting in their school, just to try to better prepare them for when they got out of school. So again, I applaud this decision, and man, I look forward to seeing some changes coming down the pipe. I'm glad they don't have to deal with, unnecessary, what we want to call it, litigation, with the individual school districts and stuff like that. No, either you're going to provide this, or I'm going to file a case on you in federal court. And bottom line, that'll make them get some act right. So anyway, I'm happy to hear it.
It's about time that something good happens for the kids, because they deserve it. They always say we all are created equal, but we are not. And sometimes, the disabled community is shunned upon, and the teachers are generally the first ones that notice things. Shoot, my teacher was the first one that noticed that I needed some glasses. I couldn't see, so if you can put that towards the kids, they're our future. It's sad to hear that some of the children are graduating and they don't have the technology that they need to make them move forward. So if there's teachers or organizations or anybody that's out there that you will advocate for them to make sure that they get what they need so that they can be better prepared uh, is excellent. So, yay, it's about time that something good happens for the kids.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I know your kids are not special needs, Pedro, but I mean, just coming, being a part of this community, did you have any trouble when you was going through school to get the accommodations you needed as a visually impaired student?
Um, I didn't go through none of that. I know, for example, my sister, she had to get certain materials, and it would take weeks, and she will have to log this big old backpack full of braille books and full of other stuff, and it was difficult for her. Like, I seen some of this stuff, and sometimes she was falling behind. She needed to meet up a tutor, well, not a tutor, somebody that helps you with some of this stuff that you cannot see. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was not like she could get on a website or start seeing the book just like that. Some material was not in braille. I know she was using one of the beginning stages of Jaws back in the early 2000s, but this is a right step. You know, yes, we have teachers, and the teachers are there to teach our students, and this falls more on the special education department within the school. They should be able to have the knowledge. The teacher should be able to come, oh, I have a blind student. What can I use, or what tools are there for him here? That education department, special education department within that school needs to always be up on game. They should know what's the disability of their students to support and supply the technology or the support that that student needs. It shouldn't always be like the student's like, oh, I'm failing. Oh, why is he failing? Let me go look. And here comes to the counselor, and you got to go here, you got to go there, talk to the vice principal. The parent comes in, and you're like, well, my son's disabled. He needs this. Why it needs to be that? Why it needs sometimes the parent to go and advocate? And that's great. But in the richest country in the world, the country that is built on freedom and accepts everybody, but we fall behind on education on a certain student, and that's the disabled student. Even if he's deaf, blind, in a wheelchair, or autistic, no matter the
Dyslexia.
disability,
Yeah.
dyslexia, whatever it
Yeah.
is, the Department of Special Education within that school should be doing the research, should be knowing their students, and not letting that student start failing until they start preventing and seeing what's the problem. No, it
Right.
needs to happen from the beginning. Give the student all the tools it needs to excel, so that student can have higher confidence when he goes to a school. He like, oh, let me compete. Oh, let me get in these groups. When they divide us into groups, that blind student, that disabled student won't feel like he's not contributing. We all like
Right.
to contribute. They
Yeah.
always tell us uh, a citizen uh, loves his country about because the way they like to contribute to the country. We work hard, you know. We're good neighbors. We make this society happen together, and we cannot leave a portion of our society to the side, and that's the disabled student, because that disabled student becomes a disabled adult.
I mean, again, it's good for the child as well. Yeah, I mean, it builds confidence within them. Not feeling that they're being left behind because of their disability or whatever. They're able to keep up. They're able to sit down and join some of these study groups and interact with some of the mainstream children. As far as their education is concerned. And then, like I said, once that child graduates, now you got a child that is prepared to be independent and, again, pursue their education or jump into a trade or workforce. Some kind of, now you're disabling them to the point to where they get out of high school, now they got to go to a secondary school for training before they can get into, higher education, such as college and stuff like that. You'd be surprised how many kids leave high school and go to college and they just can't cut it because again, they don't. They, number one, they don't have any assistive technology training. Number two, a lot of the platforms that are within some of the higher education,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have proper platforms for us to access. I mean,
Yes,
you
that's
know,
very, very
And that's
true.
crazy, because a lot of individuals want to, go to school and learn and continue their education and to not have exactly what I need. I've already faced this in high school. Now I'm approaching college and here's the same thing, but I'm supposed to be a productive citizen. How can I do that if you don't give me what I need?
you
Mm-hmm.
don't give me the tools I need to make it happen. You
And
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
sometimes they give you the tools they think you need,
Right.
and that
Mm-mm.
becomes a problem. The way I utilize all my computers and technologies that I have, it it always comes down to the ease of use and what is more easier and comfortable for the person. That might be a laptop, Windows computer. That might be a Mac that they know how to maneuver, or because it works nice with their other devices. They might be multiple. There's note takers. There's more note takers besides the Victor Stream reader that I know is accessible for other people. And is in the main how can I say text stuff. They're starting to make technology accessible. I mean mainstream technology accessible. And that's a plus because I see things that work for us and they're not made for us, but they work for us. And good example was the Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, they got Braille notes and, Braille sense and all this other kind of stuff, which are really great devices. But at the same time, they super expensive. So the more you make this stuff widely available, guess what? The cheaper it's going to be. I mean, so again, whether in even when you're in grade school, a lot of people don't realize grade school kids can have a DOR case. Okay, so if the school can't district or whatever doesn't necessarily have, let's say, earmarked special education money for technology, then that student can get it from rehab. But at the same time, you got to have somebody within that school district that can teach that child how to use that special
Mhm.
technology.
Right.
Assistive tech.
Or that person in that position needs to know that that student can get some state aid. Some of
Right.
these people
Yeah.
in these
Somebody that can come
positions,
in.
they don't know. They're in the education department, the special education department, and they don't know that students can get these. They're not well informed. They get some
Mm-mm.
and I don't want to slap everybody down, but sometimes people are bogged down with so much to do that they don't look up some of the positions. Like let's say you have a position within the special education department within a school department, right? One of the staff needs to be doing research on the students and what type of disability, if there is any new type of technology or any type of avenue where they could go and obtain that technology.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, it shouldn't be the last thing they think about. It shouldn't be the last thing the kid has to resort to when he's already failing or he's falling behind. And what does that do to that child's self-esteem? It brings them
Exactly.
down. We want to build our kids up. We want them to have good self-esteem. Be confident. That's what we want. We want a student to be good mental health. And that's across all boards. That's all students, not just disabled students.
Well,
Right.
generally, when people see special education, they think that the individuals are non functioning, and that's not always accurate. So, it seems
Hmm.
like they just don't advocate enough, thinking that, the majority of the students can't do anything for themselves. And that's just not true. They
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
learn.
and that's true. I mean, and that goes across the whole board, like what we're talking about with people with disabilities. You
Hmm.
know, in mainstream society, they just think, oh, well, once you become disabled, you're useless, you're worthless. You have
Mm-hmm.
nothing, there's nothing else you can contribute to society. You know, yada yada yada, and it's absolutely not the truth.
Right.
I mean, again, we know people that are paraplegics. The only thing they can do is move their head. Okay, but yet there is assistive technology out there that
Mm-hmm.
can help them be productive members of society. You know
And
what I
want to
Yeah.
know? Yeah, want to know one example? One of the
Mm.
smartest man that ever lived in this last century is Stephen Hawking.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't move. He had assistive technology, but this man was brilliant, brilliant.
Mm.
So we can never discount no one in our society. Everybody has something to contribute.
if you
Yeah,
let
they
us.
do. Mm-hmm.
If
That's
you
right.
let
if,
Give us
us
the
and give
if
us
you
the
let
opportunity.
tools.
us. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's the end of that segment. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a couple more promos, and then we got one more article for you, and I think you'll like this next one as well. So hit me with them, Pedro. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be blind? Ever wanted to ask questions but held back, afraid of offending? Blind United invites you to replace that fear with fun, learning and connection at our 4th annual walk. A mile in my shoes challenge. Join us Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Wayfinder Family Services, 50 Angeles, Vista Boulevard, Los Angeles. Experience everyday tax blindfolded, like pouring a cup of water. Try assistive technology like screen reader computers and iPhones. Get a hands-on braille lesson and discover how independence is built every day. Smile, laugh, and learn alongside the blind community. No pressure, just pleasure. Help us build bridges, close gaps, and make connections. Walk a mile in my shoes and see the world in a whole new way.
All right. Well, I just thought about something because a couple of people have brought this up, in responses to replying back to me about the walk a mile. You're not going to walk a mile. I mean, I'm sorry. That's not what this is. It's the metaphor. If you only walk a mile in my shoes, you would understand, and that's what this is. So, I mean, yeah, there is a walk involved, but it's definitely nowhere near a mile. So, but
Hold on. Before we moved on, the daunting task to someone sighted walking a mile blind is like, are we gonna do it? We
right.
do
I
it all
mean,
the time.
we
Right.
do it all the time,
Yeah,
and
we
we're
do
gonna
it
make
all the
sure.
time.
I mean, and we're gonna make sure you're safe. I mean, again,
Mm-hmm.
you will be walking independently, but you will have a sighted guide with you to protect you and make sure that you do not hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're going to keep you from walking in the foam poles or fire hydrants or what we call street furniture.
Right.
Okay? They're not going to let you walk out in the middle of the street. They're not going to let you, bottom line, they're going to keep you informed, what's going on around you as well. You know what I'm saying? What you can't hear. But again, they're not going to let you hold on to them so that you just follow them. No, it's about you learning how to use your senses and feel where you're going and how to get there. So, and it's not just the walk. I mean, that's the climax at the end, right? But building up to that, I mean, it's just simple kitchen tasks. Pour a glass of water. Set the microwave on 3 minutes for whatever it is you're trying to cook. Or, have you ever thought about making a bed and you can't see? You got to feel it. Make sure that you don't have any wrinkles in the sheets, and everything is smoothed out and everything is tucked in right and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of different stuff. Our screen readers, man. Screen readers opened up the door for us in so many different ways, and it keeps advancing, right? And then we get into the Braille and the iPhones and all this kind of. Imagine me taking your iPhone, your visual. I take your iPhone, I turn on the standard accessibility features in your iPhone. I turn on voiceover, and then I do another command, and I turn off your screen where you can't see it. Now navigate your phone. Okay. Oh, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Well, I do it every day. It's easy. It's not that hard.
Or if you didn't know, how we do it, we could just put it in the hands and you could touch it. You could start feeling around. I could even turn on the help. I could turn on the help so it could tell you what your swipes are doing as well.
Yeah,
But
all of that.
if you don't know how we do things that you would like to experience and find out so you can have more more awareness of blind people
More
and
knowledge.
visually impaired and more knowledge, come on down, come through.
I mean, it's an introduction to our everyday life and the challenges that we face on a daily basis, but yet we've overcome them due to, techniques and training and technology. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it makes it happen. I mean, we live productive lives. You know what I'm saying? So, again, get signed up for the Walk a Mile. Come on out and hang out with us. And I promise you will not be disappointed. So, anyway, this new one is something that you kind of touched on it previously, Pedro, where we got multimodal AI stuff. So anyway, check this out.
Hey, BlindUnited crew, grab your last cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this third article. Gartner predicts AI agents and multimodal intelligence will reshape the future of work. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve, Gartner's 2025 hype cycle has identified two technologies that are rapidly moving from innovation to implementation: AI agents and multimodal AI. These developments are not just buzzwords. They represent a shift in how businesses, governments, and individuals will interact with technology in the years ahead. AI agents are systems designed to act autonomously on behalf of users. Unlike traditional automation tools that follow fixed rules, AI agents can make decisions, learn from outcomes, and adapt to changing environments. Gartner predicts that these agents will soon be embedded in everything from customer service platforms to personal productivity tools. For example, an AI agent might manage your calendar, respond to emails, or even negotiate contracts, all while learning your preferences over time. Multimodal AI, on the other hand, refers to systems that can process and integrate multiple types of input, such as text, images, audio, and video at the same time. This allows for more natural and intuitive interactions. Imagine asking a digital assistant to describe a chart, summarize a podcast, and generate a written report, all in one seamless conversation. That's the promise of multimodal intelligence. For the blind and visually impaired community, these advancements could be transformative. Multimodal AI has the potential to bridge accessibility gaps by converting visual content into spoken descriptions, summarizing complex documents, or even interpreting facial expressions and gestures in real time. AI agents could assist with navigation, manage smart home devices, or provide real-time support during meetings or travel. However, these benefits will only be realized if accessibility is built into the design from the start. Advocates are urging developers and companies to ensure that AI tools are compatible with screen readers, voice commands, and other assistive technologies. Without this focus, the next wave of AI could unintentionally widen the digital divide. Gartner's report also highlights the importance of AI-ready data. For AI systems to function effectively, they need access to clean, structured, and ethically sourced data. This raises important questions about privacy, consent, and representation. Are datasets inclusive of people with disabilities? Are voice samples diverse enough to recognize different speech patterns and accents? These are the kinds of questions that must be addressed to ensure that AI serves everyone. As the Coffee Time crew reflects on this third article, it's clear that we're entering a new era of intelligent systems that can understand, reason, and act across multiple modes of communication. But with great potential comes great responsibility. Developers, policymakers, and users alike must work together to ensure that these tools are inclusive, ethical, and empowering. For organizations like BlindUnited, this is an opportunity to lead the conversation. By advocating for accessible AI, providing feedback to developers, and educating the community, we can help shape a future where technology works for everyone, not just the majority. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you want an AI agent to help you with? How could multimodal AI improve your daily life or work? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, for me anyway, I'm excited about what the future holds with this technology. I mean, again, I use AI every day, and then these agents have been popping up. I don't know, I guess the last 4 or 5 months that I know of, anyway, that when I first noticed them, but they've probably been around a lot longer. But again, do I know exactly what they do or what they can do? No, not yet. I mean, but because of this article, I actually looked into it with I prefer Copilot, so I use Copilot. Copilot has agents. So, I mean, I kind of asked it, okay, what can Copilot do for me, to help me with my workflow? And I mean, I love the response. I mean, it would just really minimize my screen time by me just going in there and, and creating whatever my workflow is that I wanted to do. And then as I just tell my agents, okay, I need, my whatever workflow for this day. You know what I'm saying? And boom, you can go off and do something else and it'll take care of that for you. So I mean, have I gotten into the model stuff yet? No, I haven't. But again, we were joking about this the other day. That old saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Don't believe it. I'm learning new stuff every day, folks. I mean, I'm 68 years old now, and I mean, when
you
this
broke
is over,
the stereotype.
I mean, again, when this is over with, I got a webinar coming up with Freedom Scientific today that's on the AIs that are actually within our screen readers' jaws. So and they're doing it in a way that first learn how to use the AI within jaws. Then the next seminar is going to be on ChatGPT. The one after that, I believe, is going to be on Gemini. And then the one coming up in December is going to be on Copilot, So again, they're giving it to you in stages, right? And showing you how to interact with these platforms and your jaws. Because just like anything else, each platform is different when it comes to navigating them. So, it just helps you learn how to navigate the platform before you actually start using it. Or if you already started using it, it might open some doors to you. Oh, well, I didn't know I could do that, or I didn't know I could do this, So again, it's great stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
It sounds like it. Although I don't have a computer yet, I sounds like I've got a lot of catching up to do. But the AI, I use it on a daily basis as well. And it's just transformed my life. It's nice to hear that a lot of the platforms that you use, you can kind of taper it to actually be able to make things a whole lot easier for you. I guess kind of like suggestions on the phone. I don't know if it gives you before it actually does or changes anything for you, an opportunity to say, yes, I'd like you to do this, or no, I don't want you to do it that way. But or give you suggestions on how to make things better. Would you like to do it this way? Or I don't know if it gives you those options, but it is something that would be beneficial if it's trying to learn your routine and help you, manage whatever it is that you're trying to do on a easier basis. That way you can complete some other tasks. So I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that I don't get overwhelmed with so much that's coming about. But if I just do one thing at a time, eventually I'll be able to pick it all up. I'm certain. I'm looking forward to it. And,
Well,
I'm
my
excited about it.
suggestion, Carol, is use my theory. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Learn how to use what you need to learn how to use in order to do what you want to do at that point. And
gotcha.
then as you move on and you be okay, well, now that I can do this, now I want to do that. Now you tackle whatever you need to learn in order to do that.
Okay.
Uh, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Would
Yeah.
you would you say that's a proper kind of way to go about it, Pedro?
Yeah, well, for teaching, you gotta have some way to motivate, and that's something that I kind of always find. I get interested in something. I'm like, okay, let me try to do this because that's the way I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Carol, like, find something that you want the AI to do for you. That could be even using it on your phone through the ChatGPT app and letting it look at something that you wanted to read or summarize, or look at your refrigerator and tell you a recipe or something like.
Right.
You have different avenues you can choose from. I don't know if it's like even setting the thermostat or whatever it may be, or looking at a picture and you want it to describe it to you a certain way. You could tell it,
Mm-hmm.
describe it to me, and remember that I'm blind, but describe it to me with all the color tones. And how does the scene look? I like to take a picture with my Ray-Ban to say, how does the scene look?
Mm-hmm.
How does it I'm not trying to say how does it feel, but I like to know how the scene looks, and it'd be like it's a sunny day. Last time I was announcing, they were like, it's a wood track with this color, like a brownish color with white. So he has a black and brown theme wooden roller coaster. The track was this color. It was telling me it's really sunny. It painted a vivid picture in my mind. I done
Right.
it with sunsets as well. You know, and sometimes I have to go to a different AI. Sometimes Meta AI is not all the best, but I love the tool. It comes in useful, hands free, no lie. But I switch to another AI and get a different description. Um, Even when I go shopping, when I shop and I want to look at things, I do use my live AI on my glasses, but sometimes we don't want to take everything off the rack. Sometimes I just want to stick it in my phone, look at the tag, look at the thing, describe it to me, and then let's move on. And before I do all that, I set it up and let the AI know what its duty is. I don't be like, oh, I'm shopping. Just read the tags. No, I'm be like, look, I'm shopping. I need you to look at the tags. First tag that you start seeing, if it's a size, let me know. If it's the amount, how much it costs, let me know. And third thing is, I want you to tell me the style, the type of color it is, if it's a bright tone, dark tone, mid tone, and give me a description of that color. If it's navy blue, royal blue, baby blue, like I start giving it what I want, because when you're on the go and you're shopping, you don't want to continually give it all these instructions. You want it to already be there. And then you just start looking at the garments, looking at the shirts, looking at different things, and like that you get a bigger picture and idea, because sometimes we have shirts that might be just a solid white, or they might be white with some type of design. Sometimes it's interlocking designs. It might be a horizontal and vertical pattern. It might be a, I forgot what the AI calls it, but it's like more like looking like X's. It has a certain word for it. I'm blanking on the word right now. But we have clothing with different type of stitching. Even that, I like to know if it's my clothing is a black pants with white stitching, or with sometimes it's black on black type stitching. Sometimes it's like little brown stitching. So
Right.
clothing comes all types of different ways, and we
Oh
can
yeah.
use this type of AI to give us everything we wanted and how to describe it for us.
Right. Well, so anyway, we are at the end of the
Yeah.
show for today.
Yeah, it caught my time because I'm working in the background, emails, all kinds of stuff. Sorry.
So again, we don't have any interest groups today, but we will have a movie night tomorrow. But we'll be back with you again on Friday. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff on whatever platform you're on. And also, if you can, please help out with the Double Good Popcorn fundraiser. We really, really, really would appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We actually go live in about 2 hours as far as the 4 days that they give us to do this. You know what I'm saying? So again, please jump in there, get you some popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Help us out. You're helping support a very, very good cause. And on that note, I am going to call this one to an end until tomorrow. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.